The moment he noticed the three small heads bowed together like wilted flowers in the corner of a glittering airport lounge, the single dad felt a quiet crack open in his chest, the kind that only opens when an old wound recognizes itself in someone else. Around them, luxury hummed and shimmered, polished shoes passed by without slowing, and success moved fast with rolling suitcases and glowing screens, yet those triplets sat invisible, untouched by all that shine, as if the world had decided they were background noise. What happened next began as a small human impulse and ended as something that would ripple through lives far beyond that terminal. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of ordinary people choosing to care, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this exist because people still believe goodness matters. He was a single father named Aaron, though no one there knew his name, and most days he moved through life like a man carrying a full glass without spilling a drop, careful, tired, and determined. He had learned that kind of walking after his wife died suddenly, leaving him with a 5-year-old daughter and a silence that roared at night. Work had become survival, love had become routine, and grief had settled into him like a second spine. That morning, he had boarded a red-eye flight with his daughter asleep on his shoulder, her breath warm against his neck, the smell of her shampoo grounding him as he navigated the world of boarding passes and announcements. He was not looking for trouble or miracles. He was just trying to get home. The airport lounge was a stopgap between flights, a place where time stretched and bent. Aaron sat near the windows, watching planes crawl like patient animals across the tarmac. His daughter woke and asked for juice, and he smiled, handed her the bottle, and thanked the universe for small mercies. That was when he saw them again, the triplets, all around the same age as his child, maybe 6 or 7, dressed in immaculate clothes that looked expensive and stiff. Their shoes were spotless, their hair perfectly parted, but their faces carried a hollow look that didn't belong in childhood. They were identical in the way only siblings born together can be, but each held a different shade of loneliness, as if they had learned early how to divide sadness evenly. Their caregiver, if that's what she was, sat a few seats away, absorbed in her phone, eyes flicking up only to count heads before returning to her screen. No one spoke to the children. No one offered them snacks or smiles. They clutched small backpacks and stared at the floor as people whispered about business deals and destinations. Aaron tried to look away, because he knew that feeling too well, the sense of being surrounded and still alone. He had felt it after the funeral, when casseroles stopped coming and friends returned to their busy lives. He had felt it on playgrounds where couples stood together, laughing, while he hovered at the edges. Time passed. His daughter finished her juice and asked if she could draw. He gave her paper and crayons, and she sat cross-legged, humming softly. Across the room, one of the triplets shifted and knocked over a water bottle. It rolled toward Aaron's feet and stopped. The child froze, eyes wide, waiting for a scolding that never came because no one noticed. Something inside Aaron tipped then, like a decision made by the heart before the mind could argue. He stood, picked up the bottle, and walked it back. He didn't announce himself or make a show. He just knelt, handed it over, and smiled the kind of smile that says you're safe for a moment. The child whispered thank you so quietly it barely existed, and the other two looked up, startled by the interruption of kindness. Their faces softened, curiosity breaking through the practiced stillness. Aaron felt the weight of his own exhaustion lift a fraction. He went back to his seat, but he couldn't unsee them. Minutes later, his daughter wandered over, holding up her drawing, a crooked sun and 3 stick figures holding hands. She had noticed too, children always do. Aaron nodded, heart thudding, and watched as she shyly offered the picture to the triplets. The caregiver glanced up, frowned, then shrugged and returned to her phone. The children accepted the drawing like it was fragile glass. One smiled, a small bright thing, and Aaron felt tears sting his eyes without warning. What he did next was not planned. He invited them to sit closer, shared snacks, let his daughter explain her masterpiece with the seriousness of an artist unveiling a gallery. The triplets leaned in, hunger for attention more than food, and for the first time their shoulders relaxed. They laughed when crumbs fell, and that sound cut through the lounge like music. People began to notice. Heads turned, whispers spread. A man in a tailored suit watched with interest, recognition dawning slowly. It turned out the triplets were the children of a powerful CEO, traveling constantly, raised by schedules and staff and silence. Their father was somewhere between meetings and continents, believing provision was presence, believing the best was always enough. The man in the suit approached, introduced himself as part of the executive team, eyes sharp with assessment. He watched Aaron patiently tie a shoelace, wipe a face, and listen to a rambling story about a favorite cartoon like it mattered. The executive's expression shifted, something unguarded flickering across it. Flights were delayed, time expanded again. The lounge transformed into a small island of warmth where strangers paused and smiled. Aaron taught the kids a simple card game, his daughter cheered when she won, and the triplets learned how to lose and laugh about it. He felt like a bridge between worlds, a man who had lost much offering something he still had in abundance. When boarding was finally announced, the caregiver gathered the children briskly, but the triplets clung for a second longer, reluctant to let go of the ordinary magic. Later, after the flight, after the exhaustion returned, Aaron received an email he almost deleted, assuming it was spam. It wasn't. It was an invitation. The CEO had heard the story, had watched the footage captured quietly by an assistant who recognized a moment worth remembering. He wanted to meet the man who had given his children something money couldn't buy. Aaron hesitated. He was wary of attention, allergic to spectacle. But he thought of the triplets' faces and agreed. The meeting was not what he expected. There were no cameras, no speeches, just a father with regret etched deep and a single dad who knew the cost of absence. They talked about loss and fear and the lies success tells when it promises safety in exchange for time. The CEO admitted he didn't know his children as well as he should. He asked Aaron how to fix something that felt already broken. Aaron didn't offer a miracle. He offered consistency, presence, and the courage to be seen. Weeks passed. Aaron returned to his routine, to school drop-offs and late nights, to healing that came in inches. Then changes began to surface like quiet evidence of a shifting tide. The CEO adjusted his schedule. The triplets enrolled in a local school. A foundation was announced, not with fanfare but with purpose, supporting families navigating grief and single parenthood. Aaron was offered a role, not as a symbol but as a guide, someone who understood the terrain. He accepted carefully, protecting his daughter's peace, building a life that made room for joy without forgetting pain. He saw the triplets again, this time in a park, grass under their feet, laughter unrestrained. They ran to him like old friends, arms open, trust easy. The CEO watched from a bench, eyes wet, learning how to sit still in love. The story spread because people needed it. They needed proof that noticing matters, that one small act can reroute lives. Aaron never claimed heroism. He said he did what anyone could do if they listened to the quiet tug inside. He said children don't need perfection, they need to be seen. And when he tucked his daughter in at night, he told her that the world changes when we choose to show up. Just before this story ends, take a moment to comment the word kindness if you believe one caring moment can change everything. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of the power you carry in everyday choices, please like, share, and comment to let us know. Your engagement helps stories like this reach the people who need them most, and it keeps hope moving forward.